Says we're live.
All right. Welcome to a little bit of an experiment. There we go. You should see the poll on the screen.
I see it.
Okay, good.
Is that what we're verifying?
Yeah. Oh, but now that's blocking it. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Guess I'll have to move that aside for the time being. That's so funny. When it shows Safari, it shows anything in Safari. Strange.
Oh, including the comments, huh?
Yeah. So we're getting kind of a double comments. In fact, they're a little bit larger.
Got my
Anyway.
double comment screen set up here for myself.
Yeah. Anyway, I've noted, at least in the past, that the hotkey I've set up to spontaneously show and hide the iPhone camera to show the notebook has stopped working midstream. And so I came up with a possible solution, and I'm going to see if it works. It might not.
Well, and also as we keep talking, okay, other people are saying audio is fine, so it may just be Magpie, but that's unfortunate. I hope it's okay. And it just became normal for Magpie. Going on then.
Magpie, sometimes you have to say these things out loud or type them in chat because your computer will do things specifically to mess with you. But it's like if you actually point it out, it'll be like, okay, So, anyway.
Well, and Mateus has just pointed out that for him the video is choppy, so we're going to have that issue fixed right now since it has been typed.
Mm-hmm. Whoever just texted me, you were too late. I gave you a shot. But it's done now. I can't see texts. Anyway, so before getting into anything else, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the poll and just kind of take care of that. We were looking at potentially changing some of our glyphs because the width was irregular. So we were looking at, I don't have a main image, but essentially option A would show you what the issue is. This guy right here, this little toothy fellow, he's at the width of 1,000. Almost everything here is at the width of 1,000. These three characters are not. In particular, this is the same shape, but it's shorter. It's skinnier, as opposed to 1,000 points, it's 800 points. These are also 800 points, but they're a different shape. So, anyway, the question was what to do with these undersized characters. Option A was to leave them as is.
So it'd be like a capital I in our system now.
Yeah.
Because in general that takes up a heck of a lot less space than, say, a capital M.
Absolutely. Option B is to increase the width of this one, the one that's the same shape as the other guy, but leave the P shape as is. Okay. Kind of an interesting half measure. Mm-hmm. And then option C was to change them all so that they're all uniform width. So I contacted friend, conlanger, patron, and expert scripter, Barry Garcia, to ask him his thoughts on this one. And of course also asked him to vote, which he always does for these orthography polls. And he gave me his opinion, which was based on everything else he's seen from the font. All three characters should probably be increased to the width of 1,000.
Okay.
For balance and uniformity. Guess which option came in last?
The balanced.
That's right. Option C. Option C came in last. Now, there were a lot of votes in this poll, and it didn't come in last by a lot. That one got 12, compared to the other two, which got 15 and 16, respectively. But it was clearly the best option, and it came in last. So
Jake is correct. You did not give anyone this information. You should have announced that on Discord as people were voting. Just say, hey, you all remember Barry, the genius who makes these incredible scripts.
Yeah.
This is Barry's opinion. And I feel like that could have helped the situation if that's really the way that you wanted it to go. You know what I'm saying?
But this is not how we teach here at LangTime Studio. We don't encourage you to choose the right choice. We just tell you when you were wrong.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so it came down to options A and B. And I have to say this poll went back and forth quite a bit. Option A was just to keep as is. Option B was just to change this one, a slight change. And I have to say, if I had a preference between the two of these, I would choose option B, just myself.
So that lost.
Believe it or not, by one vote at the 11th hour, option B pulled ahead.
You voted for it then.
No, I didn't. I voted for C.
When you saw I was losing, you could have moved the votes. But okay, all right. So option B won, which is some good news since that was David's top of the bottom choices.
So anyway, I wanted to get that out of the way because now I wanted to go and mute this window and see if we can go back to just, now I want to see if the shortcut works now, because rather than switching scenes, I made it a window that I can just mute in this scene. And so I'm hoping that keeps the keystroke alive. See, it's alive right now. So, we'll see.
Okay.
And we'll know at the end, like, if this made a difference or not. If it didn't, that means that it has nothing to do with switching scenes.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So now I'm going to pull the chat back out. All right. Sometimes water is just what you need. But what else is nice from time to time, Jess? What's nice is shaking things up a little bit.
Okay. I'm very scared. I don't know where this is going.
Oh, you shouldn't be. You're fine. You're fine. This is nothing new to you. But as folks on the Discord will know, I announced that we had some special guests this week. And indeed, we do have some very special guests. Also, an announcement, we are going to be streaming next week. We'll just be streaming from UC Santa Barbara. We're going to be streaming at an earlier time, 1 to 3. 1 to 3 Pacific. So mark your calendars, adjust your timepieces. But back to this week, we have some special guests. We've had a number of guests here on LangTime Studio over the years, but a couple of them haven't been seen for some time for practical reasons. This week, it's very exciting that we have 2 of these guests returning to visit the stream. And so I'm going to see if we can invite one of them on screen. Just one moment. I'll be right back.
And David has, you'll see him walking through here. Oh, Vincent. I should get Vincent.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
That would be a good guest. And yes, I'm sure we have not yet gotten mail yet, so the mail will, I'm sure, be a guest as well. But I'm waiting for it to become live.
There she is. There's Kitty.
Okay, but now her head's... There we go. Yeah, stay right there. Don't move, because otherwise her head is just hanging off.
That's right. Kitty is back with us temporarily. Aaron's house is undergoing some construction at the moment. And so, despite the fact that our allergies have not really kept up and it's really thrown a lot of our entire lives into disarray, the cats have come to visit for just a little bit. And so...
looking at her tail, wondering, what dust has she gotten into today?
Oh, it was probably under the chair, because it's hard to get under the chair with the vacuum. Anyway, so Kitty has come back. Roman is back. Roman is upstairs at the moment. And Kitty is not in the mood for sitting on a lap right now. But
that's because she had a wonderful sunny spot that you pulled her out of.
I know, but sometimes you just have to bother a cat.
You can go back to it, Kitty.
All right, so give me just 1 second. Now it's going to get even worse.
Oh no, you're not going to get Roman.
Oh, I'm going to get Roman.
Okay, well, you all know that Roman is a feisty cat, and David sometimes does things that rile him up. And making him move from his really comfortable napping during the day spot is one of them. I hear him complaining already at being moved. And then he's in a grumpy mood after being disturbed, and that's when he starts knocking things over in front of David just to show him that, like, I'm on a table you don't want me on. And so he behaves badly for a while after being disturbed. And David is doing this at the beginning of our stream, which means I anticipate 2 hours of bad cat behavior to make up for it. But I hear them coming down the stairs now.
Here it comes. Come here, Roman. Come on, Roman.
Yes, the crying chonky one. That is indeed Roman.
Come here, Romy. That's it. Oh, what a good boy
And
you
some
are.
days, yes, David's arms do get shredded from cat claws.
Oh, what a good boy you are. Oh, what a good boy you are. Come here. Come here, my good boy. We gotta show you off. We gotta show you off.
Roman
have to
is
show
so
you off.
unimpressed.
Okay.
And it takes a minute for me to tell you if you're in screen.
Yeah, don't worry. I can see it.
Okay.
There's my good boy. Oh, what a good boy
He's
you
actually
are.
being much more complacent than I would even expect given his rousting.
That's because he's such a good boy. Aren't you a good boy? Oh, my precious boy.
I see him looking around the room, plotting what is he going to knock over next.
My good little man. Yay!
So yes, Roman and Kitty are here.
Okay, now he's just going to sit on my lap quietly for the rest of the stream.
And there he goes.
Okay. So yeah, it's been a hectic time, and I'm not going to say that it hasn't been an inconvenience to me as well. But it's been such a joy to have them here, and I'm really, really grateful that Jesse has allowed it. And saying that Jesse has allowed it is, I really think, putting it as accurately as possible. Though I would note that I believe Roman has taken quite a shine to you.
Well, you know, Roman decides. See, Roman knows what was there. Roman knows.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he and I have we will sit side by side understanding. I do not pet a cat who will bite me for petting, so so he knows. He just sits by me.
Honestly, that's one of Roman's favorite things. Like, you know, sometimes he'll come up and headbutt and want some pets, but one of his favorite things is to sit near you and then just kind of look at you and then close his eyes and purr. Mm-hmm. He loves that.
And so I let him do that. And
Yep.
yes. Okay, David.
Yeah, been quite the catting week
It has.
at LangTime
Toothus.
Studio. Yeah,
Toothus got a cat named Zorro.
a brand new cat. Lovely tuxedo cat.
Just gorgeous cat. And we've seen lots of cat photos. And of course, you know, Jonathan's Laguna is always a delight.
More a white cat with black appointments than black with white. Usually with a
for
tuxedo
Zorro.
cat, you think of him as mostly black. I would say Zorro is mostly white or close to 50-50.
So anyway, yeah. He's just looking at me now. Exactly.
Oh, my sweet boy.
He is, he likes to get outside even though he's not supposed to. And when he sits by our door here, he stares at the handle as if he knows he's going to be able to get the door open someday.
Good job marking that
Hello,
chair.
George.
He's
Yes,
actually
Patrick, that was the meow.
he's been a big fan actually of this chair, which kind of had no purpose really. It was just kind of an extra chair.
It's for when we have too many people to sit at the table.
Yeah, sometimes we need it, but he's been kind of a fan of it. So, also the chair upstairs, which doesn't enjoy a lot of use. And Kitty's been a fan of that chair, which doesn't enjoy a lot of use. Our extra chairs have really been key players this week.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. Let us go about affecting the results of the poll.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
By the way, sometimes I use that word just because I know you'd like it.
That's very nice. Thank you.
All right. So I know I designed this one. Is this the shorter one? 1400, 400. No, that's the bigger one.
I've never actually played Civilization, but apparently Civilization 7 just released their...
Was that us?
I'm going to go look upstairs. Both cats are down here.
Yeah, so it wasn't the cats. Oh, goodness gracious. Please don't be big. Please don't be big. Please don't be big. Maybe we'll be lucky and it'll be next door. It was probably... I'm going to guess it was the squeegee. I have these little hooks that stick on the shower, and they come down. They shouldn't, but they do. It's really troubling. Anyway. Oh, I don't have any problem with squeegee. Civilization is a fun game. So Aaron introduced me to Civilization. And so the first one I played was Civilization 3, which was the bright, shiny, brand new one. That's where I learned to play. Civilization 4 I liked. 5 I liked. 6, I want to say 4 was probably the best one, I think.
I think it was outside.
Really? All right.
Like they're doing, the landscapers are.
I'm going to go check a couple of things nevertheless. Oh, I know, Kitty. I heard it too. Are we going to go investigate?
Well, David didn't finish what he was saying. I also didn't finish what I was saying. I just got up and ran because it sounded like something really big fell and died in our house, and I don't know what it was. But yeah, Civilization, something I've never played. But I was trying to say that my heart is pounding. 'Cause literally, that sound was so loud. I don't know how loud it was for you on your end, but like I knew it wasn't anything in the shower. It sounded very breakable. But Jake was saying that they released that with a new mode, and that was very exciting. So, all right, well, fell and died. Like something, the way something metal can die, or like if a large photo were to fall off a wall and then the frame broke, like it would die. So that's what it sounded like. Was that like something came down and broke into pieces. And yeah, possibly Patrick, possibly. All right.
I've checked everything, and I agree with your assessment. I don't think it was us. I think it was next door or outside. And my apologies. Kitty set a paw into the forbidden room of mystery. I told her specifically about the forbidden room of mystery and how it was not for kitties.
Okay, so David.
She likes this.
Now that you're back. Oh, I'm sure Biblioreading. Like, I mean, again, never played it, but like, I can't imagine a lot of those games taking things seriously in terms of language.
Well, what's interesting, because I think the knowledge he assumes is that they actually have the leaders speak in their own languages. But so it's like they're trying, but
so that is something that I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes they're dead languages. Sometimes it's like Egyptian where we don't even know what it sounded like. So, who knows
Right.
what you're getting.
Well, so they need to hire you, David. You can do the voices. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The fun time of LangTime is over now. It's the serious time that everybody dislikes. You can all log off.
Well, I remember. Well, I think the more we focus on doing orthography and not doing random other things at the same time, the faster orthography gets done.
Yep.
And so I think it's good for us to primarily focus. I also... Oh, somebody is leaving. Anyway.
I think they're joking.
Oh, okay. Miles, I get you now. I get it now. But also, yeah, I'm not entirely sure where to go next if I just start creating words, and so. Well,
I will say that we did resolve one issue with this with the result of this poll. Which was, remember how we discovered this potential subsystem for the a and u characters? Since we have increased the width of the character that was the tooth, we can now use that to create a ka character.
Oh, that is nice.
So we're going to do that, paste that right in. We're no longer going to use the word for stone for that.
Okay.
Oh.
Did it not like? Mute, David. Mute.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a call from Joe.
Oh, do you want to run and take that while I talk about stones?
Yeah, I can do that. Can I use your phone? Because mine's a camera.
I just have to get out of that.
Here. I'm gonna. Do you have her number?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if this worked.
Okay, so David's going to go return an important call. Sorry, I was too lazy to actually get out of YouTube for you. I'm making you do it.
That did work. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that up. Oh, but wait, no, we don't want that because we want your yeah, great.
Exactly.
Now I'm also having the allergy trouble.
We are... I would say we're quite a pair today in terms of health, but like I had looked back at some past episodes and I'm not sure either of us has been super healthy since like last February. And even then, questionable. So sorry that so much of what we do ends up being, hey, we're sick again. But I was going to look at our documentation and see areas where I could clean it up because I don't remember if I made an actual grammaticalization section in this document, and I don't think I did. And I want to pull some of that information together because I like having a space in the document where all of that information is kept. And I like to put it at the end of the sound changes, which I know because of me, David moved them in our document because I like having, the historical stuff before you get into the modern description. But because I'm so used to his documents being organized differently, I keep getting lost in this particular document. Like I just keep not being able to find my way around and find these notes. But indeed, I have found it. And we're going to make some grammaticalization notes. Noun inflections. I know the partitive came from stick. And I'm going to, here we go. Oh, that was the singulative. That wasn't. To bite was the partitive. You see, this is why we need to keep this information together. Okay. So partitive, oof to bite becomes ooh. Then we have the, oh, I don't know why I'm retyping that. What a silly waste of energy, am I right? All right, so we've got that. I'm gonna make this bold and a little bit bigger, and we're gonna center that. We're gonna call attention to these grammaticalization notes. All right, I do like this. We still haven't done anything with this quick to chew the grass. Someone who jumps to conclusion. That would be a lot of fun. I'm also momentarily going to take that away so I can see. Oh, Danielle's here. Yay. And apparently Miles shouted no during sleep last night. Sissa Languages is asking a great question. Was it because you were dreaming of David eating onions? That day was really awful, guys. Like, I should have a better word there, folks. Everyone out there. That day really was awful. Poor David and the awfulness of that onion. Like, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have done it. I don't care what I had promised. I couldn't have done it. Okay. I don't remember what our verbs do. Right. We've got portmanteaus, which means I should probably make sure those are in there. We do something. We also didn't define these. Look at these wonderful little demonstratives with their protoforms, which, by the way, I know the protoforms are only listed because I keep telling David I need these things, but I still don't remember what they mean. So let's see if this is anywhere else in the document. No, it is only there. Did we have that mean anything else? Ay. Okay, we'll figure demonstratives out in a moment. These are inflections. Okay, these are also inflections. Oh my goodness. Do you see how much I need to clean up this document? We have notes all over. We have ideas written. We've got wonderful High Valyrian glyphs. But yeah, I need to take some time and clean this up. Oh, telling secrets to rivers. I like this. You know, it is always interesting when you go back into an old document and you have all these. It's sort of like looking back at a journal where you have all these notes written, and by journal I mean like just your daily notebook that you take for, just keeping your random daily notes. And like on the day you take those notes, they make so much sense. And then later you come back and it's like looking at this Post-it note that you wrote in a fevered dream. And you're like, I don't even know what this says or what I'm supposed to do with this information. But like the day that you wrote it, it was so important and so like on point. And now you're just looking at all these random little bits. And that's what I feel like in parts of this document. Like we've gotten so much better. Like look at this wonderful little thing here. We've got what it means. We've got the protoform. And so sometimes we are doing so good with documentation. But then other times it's like, where did these come from? And not even sure. And so, Juno, are you making a reference to the Conlang relay that was the results were recently released with a furry log? Exactly, Juno, that mystical rat. Oh, go ask a river. Oh, how fun. I love that. I love it. Okay, so, but what I was literally just looking for were remembering what our verbs do. I swear. Some days you just look at a language and go, did I really work on this? Was I here? And that's how I feel in this moment. Okay. Now, I remember those are from person marking or not. Those have to be person markings. It's doing something to it. So we have something with the, ga. These are coming together somehow. Yeah, I literally do not remember how we did this. Oh, my poor brain. And these notes feel like they shouldn't go in a grammaticalization section. This feels like this just needs to be like kept up front. I think this one was from To Swim. And that one, these were from where the copula was. The copula notes. Okay, so we've got some of these. Go back to my little grammaticalization notes. And I'm going to call these just auxiliaries because I forgot that we didn't really do a lot with the inflections there.
There you go. All right.
Cheat.
News has been delivered, decisions have been decided, and I will tell you about it after the stream. Okay.
As soon as you hit in stream. I'm trying to clean up our document, David, and I feel like I am rediscovering a language that I never knew I worked on in the first place.
But like
I don't remember.
We did this one really good.
And yet we don't have notes together. We've got them all over. I'm trying to put them in one place in the document so they're not just all over.
What fun stuff did I miss?
Me talking out loud and people being stuck just listening. But Patrick did come up with go ask a river as an idiom that's shortened from, I don't know, you're asking the wrong person. If you want to know what the fish are up to, go ask a river. You know, okay, go ask a river.
That's honestly incredible. I'm pretty sure we have the word for river. Do we have anything for ask?
I don't think so.
Let's try to do that. Just so that we can write in that idiom. I don't want to forget it. A really, really beautiful idea. Well done, Patrick. I do want to write in, how have I been doing this? All right.
Patrick was riffing on an earlier suggestion.
So this one is going to be ka with a dot, or rather.
Was that from Magpie or Juno?
With a dot. So. All right.
Magpie. Magpie said, let's have an idiom about telling secrets to rivers. That's who it was. Sorry.
Well, they're just being the maggiest of pies today. Thank you. Thank you for the combined suggestion. I think that you were right in that it's more... So I think it's more the dust than it is the cats. And I think that you're right. Whenever they find a new cache of dust,
we die.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was silenced on purpose. David sneezed. You turned it back on, right? I hope it... David's not answering me, so I hope he remembered to turn it back on.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay, here we see some comments here too. Perfect. And so, yeah, David sneezed and remembered to silence it, which means you all were saved. And we all say thank you, David.
What am I showing here? Font Lab, screen sharing. Because I don't think that my desktop doesn't show up anywhere, right?
I don't think so. I'm not looking at, I have to get back into YouTube if I'm going to answer that question.
Okay. Wait. So I'm gonna. One second.
I don't remember what the subjunctive in this language is built on.
It's basic. Wait, right? Isn't it?
What do you mean by basic?
Yeah. So you see how like all these auxiliaries, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking, but the only place in this entire document where the word subjunctive is written are in these green charts.
Because all the tenses are used with an auxiliary. Anytime that you're going to use the subjunctive, you apply those same endings to the actual verb. The only time you use the actual verb in a finite form is in the subjunctive. That's the only place it currently exists. Okay. Okay. Mint. Oh, and I need your notebook.
What the heck is this? Why does it keep wanting to underline things when you copy and paste in this document?
I have never been able to figure that out.
So there's no auxiliary then that occurs with the subjunctive.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So then the na is imperfect. Oh, this is habitual. Got you. I left that down there, right?
Okay. All right, because I need to see what mint looks like.
Just a second.
No problem.
Because I had just written a bunch of notes to help me make this list. So just a second. Sure.
We already have that.
Negation.
Bark, mint, clover.
Okay.
Non-beaver tail.
Mint was an older one?
Yeah, it was. The only ones that we have written down on this that we haven't done yet are bark, mint, and clover. I'm sorry, bark, mint, clover, and non-beaver tail. All the other ones that are written down are done.
Okay. Just don't show it online.
Okay.
Because there's a note at top. I've got...
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Like you had said, David, we need a LangTime notebook separate from every other notebook.
Yeah.
We both need to do that.
Oh, we did seaweed. Oh.
All right.
Oh. Muted it again. Mint has the sharp edges.
Yes.
And then the tail, we're thinking someone like a rat, a mouse, maybe an opossum.
Yeah. Another route could be if you wanted a slightly shorter tail would be, thinking about like deer tails. How they're kind of like, like a conical shape.
Yeah.
A little bit longer. Of course, dog tails. But yeah, that I just kind of drew like a tail that was meant to be more generic for like cat, mouse, that sort of longer skinny tail.
Yeah, mint tail, now clover and bark. Bark just looks like a piece of wood, doesn't look very different from log. And then clover looks like that.
I did double check.
I have
That comes out as V and Ga. Okay. V, Ga. And where does the passive come from? From to receive. Wonderful.
bark. What is our word? Oh wait, no, we already have it. It's gonna be za. Huh. What is ma? Ma is corn, huh?
All right. So we've got that.
1600. What's the usual? 1200. And so this would be at 900. Do we have anything at 900?
I've got so many journals on my shelf just
800.
waiting to be used. Oh, yeah. Miles, and I also don't know when those chalk drawings are posted, like relative to when they were actually created. So I don't, most of the chalk creatures that I see on Instagram could already be gone by the time I actually send them your way. Neko Yimo. For anything, sorry, Jake, for anyone, hey, Minnie, anyone who is ever in Ann Arbor, always be looking around at the ground and concrete and at lower areas on brick walls. Because there is an artist who lives in Ann Arbor and just goes around and makes these little chalk drawings. And so, yeah, as soon as it rains, I'm sure they're gone. They probably wear off, just from, especially if they're on a sidewalk, just from people walking over them and everything. But this artist creates these delightful little animal drawings, and they're all small. Like if you think of, the size of a brick, it's like it would all be housed on a single brick kind of size. So they're super tiny, very cute, and I've been enamored with this Instagram account as I think Davidson is the artist's name. But I've been following this artist for a while, and then Miles just recently happened to now be in the Ann Arbor area, and I was like, hey, you gotta go see these. So Davidson, yes. And so anyway, that's what that was about. And Ernest was a little turtle that was recently drawn. Okay, David, I feel like you have something you need to share or ask.
I'm having a difficult time with this bark.
Do you want me to draw more images of bark?
I mean, if you can think of more images of bark. Also, have you drawn a picture of a mushroom yet?
I thought I had one in there, yeah. But now I gotta go back and find. I'd also redraw some of these so that way they're on a page where you can actually show it. Oh, I redrew Mint. You could have shown this page. I'm sorry.
Let me see.
I mean, it's still the same, but...
Yeah.
Because it does have little scraggly... Oh, and this is... Yeah, I guess I redrew the bark too, but in terms of writing, it would end up looking like a log again, yeah. Also, though, that was one of the reasons I chose bark, David.
Yeah.
For this za sound, was because we had a word that started with a Z, and I was trying to pull from words we already had.
No, I know.
We could create a different one.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do it in a way that's different from what we've already got. And I'm just having a bit of a difficult time. But I do have a little bitsky of an idea. I think I'm going to go with it. So I've got it. I'm going to do that, and it's going to be Kismet. Ta-da!
Oh, Magpie said there's a mural that David did somewhere.
I'm sorry.
That is so exciting. And Jake, I just drew a chunk of bark. It's hard to, I tried to do more papery bark because I felt like that would be easier. Otherwise, bark from things like oak trees ends up kind of coming off in wood chip shapes. And that looks a lot like little rocks or little logs. I did not see your most darling mushroom book. I
saw that.
Have not gone on Discord really at all today. I've been working on some other projects.
Crowdsource if you can take Zyrtec and loratadine, or if they're the same thing.
Zyrtec and loratadine?
Loratadine with an L.
I don't know what loratadine is. If you know what that is, David wants to know, can you take Zyrtec and loratadine at the same time? I know you can take Benadryl. You may just have to deal with being tired. Boy, that does not look good. I was trying to draw a mushroom. And I was drawing a flat-capped one. That's what I'm trying to say. But I was trying to give it dimension. It just looks like my pen fell. Let's see.
Because Zyrtec is cetrazine.
So Patrick says, I've doubled up on generic Claritin, which is the L1, and generic Zyrtec, and is not dead. So, ... That's
Patrick, though.
Danielle says they're not the same, but they are the same class of medication. Not supposed to take them together, but it's also not going to kill you.
Okay. All right. No, I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess with stuff.
Where Miles says, doesn't loratadine speak for the trees?
All right. So I've got our bark word, so that's done. So that's happy days. All right. Now for this. the word I'm looking for? Mint. I want to do an honest to goodness triangle. We haven't done that. I'm not sure if I should. I wish Barry were watching. And we sure know what clover looks like. How does that translate into this squarish script?
That's a good question. Trying to remember how to do like a good. They're kind of amorphous though. No, you're not getting any other good drawings.
All good. You did your best and I love you for it.
Well, there's some mushrooms. And that's a different style of bark. That's oak bark. Danielle says there's actually a prescription drug or a Tolkien elf quiz site.
Huh. Nice.
That's amazing. Ozempic, the half-orc rogue. Zimbalta, the bard. Oh, I love it.
We don't have a word for mushroom yet, right?
No, at least not in the document. I won't say we don't have one somewhere.
Well, let's make a word for mushroom, preferably starting with D, Phi, V, or Lee.
As you're thinking about that, if you want an honest to goodness triangle shape, the chanterelle that I was attempting to draw there could be a triangle with a stick on the bottom.
Yeah, I was thinking more of a squarish shape. I like this. And in fact, if it started with D, that would give us something.
So you wanted to start with a D?
Well, I don't know, because we need to make our dentals based off of our D&T series. But we already have a T with a thingy up in the air. All right, whatever. Yeah. Let's have it start with D. Word for D, starting with D-I, and it's going to be a mushroom, and it's going to be a tall boy. Mushroom types. I am looking for a very specific type, and I don't know what it's called.
Right. As a reminder, the only vowels that are in the proto-language are I, U, A, and these are the only consonants you can deal with. They have to be in black or red to be usable, where DI is already going to be how it starts, so we know it needs to be D.
What are the ones I'm thinking about?
What do you think about DB?
These aren't right. Ink cap mushroom.
Or Divu?
Yeah, either of those. Yeah, ink cap mushroom. That's the one I'm thinking of. Ink cap mushroom.
Or
Not that one.
Dihni is another suggestion.
How does that come out?
Doesn't it just voice Dini?
Dihni?
Di voiceless N. Dihni.
Oh, right. Yeah, that it just voices.
Or Sicil language just says ding with a voiceless nasal at the end. Deeth, as it sounds like. Doopy. Any of these you like better or want to create a poll from?
No, I just want to do the one DIN or some sort of voiceless nasal. Doesn't matter which one.
Is it going to end with the voiceless nasal?
Yes.
Or okay. So Sicil languages had suggested ding with an angma.
Sounds good. I like it.
And so we'll go with that. Oh, Patrick. And so we will make that entry, and by we I mean me. Here I go. Does it need to be defined as a specific type of mushroom, or can it just be...
My idea is that it was originally a specific type of mushroom, the ink cap mushroom. Now it's a generic word for mushroom. The reduplicated form is going to be the ink cap mushroom.
Ink cap.
Yeah. All right, and so we're going to have mushroom here. And then we're going to have here, it's going to be DI with a little notch.
And that just comes out denasalized I, right? Ding.
Yeah.
Does the nasal, it drops out, right? Entirely?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now. Ha! Keyboard shortcut. It worked. David and I recently updated our keyboard layout.
Yeah. So that's going to be DI. And I think with this one's going to have the notch on top. But since it's got a notch on top and a notch on bottom, I think what we're going to do is just put a line through it.
David, when this gets reduplicated, what is the modern form? So we've got DI voiceless angma followed by DI voiceless angma. Is it just going to become D?
Let's take a look. Voiceless angma.
And I alphabetized this wrong. Oh, that is exciting.
To take a look at the reclusive voiceless angma. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's just ding 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 ding. Complete normal reduplication. That's what one would expect. Okay. There we are. Oh.
Sorry, I actually added 2 then.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and the non-beaver tail.
All right.
I have an idea.
What's up?
I have an idea. It's going to be like a Z shape for the non-beaver tail.
Oh, yeah, that would be good because it just sort of...
It'll be like, you know, kind of like the tail that goes like that, right? Okay. That's no problem. That's easy to do. I am not afraid of doing that at all. Even though they're my least favorite shape to do. So this is going to be NGA right here.
Okay, so Jake, Miles, you're spelling ink cap as one word. I thought it was one word, but Pages is giving me a spelling error every time I put it as one word.
I mean, what can one expect?
I'm going to put it as one word then. David thinks that's how it should be too, I think, based on his reaction.
Let's take a look. Okay, Wikipedia. Ink cap mushroom. One word.
Okay.
Okay, so all we need to do is join these, except that the angles need to be right. So upper left is sharp. So that one is sharp, so that's easy. But that one is not sharp. So that will need to be fixed. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh wait. Or maybe... Because that's an upper left and this is a lower right. They're both sharp. They're both sharp. Okay, and that's 300 and that's 300. Bingo, bango. That is worth celebrating at some time in the future. God, I'm dying.
Tanya, Benadryl's better than nothing. All right. Got those. Gosh. I really just want to, like, on the one hand, it's fun to see all of our old random notes just kind of put together. But I also want to clean this up so badly. And just have it not be fronged with extra things, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I will take that list out. As Jacob the Hanovan Stantiano Peniferius to share once famously penned, David is allergic to dust. How allergic to dust is he? David is so allergic to dust, every time he wheels out one of his stories from before Internet 2.0, he sneezes. That's happening today. He wheeled out one too many old stories. All right. So it turns out we don't have a word for river. And we also don't have a word for ask.
No word for river.
No.
Oh my gosh, that could be one of our glyphs.
you ready to celebrate?
Yeah. Woo!
Ooh, that was almost a bad throw. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you actually.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Dog walked into a bar, but he couldn't see anything, so he opened one. Opened one what? One Copico.
Okay.
I don't think Jesse's up on that meme. So, apparently it's the world's oldest joke. Where when
someone walks into a bar.
You translate it, and it's like, essentially the translation is literally, a dog walked into a bar and couldn't see anything, so he opened one. And that's the joke. Now, once you dig into it, it's like, oh, this was a oldest recorded joke. That's important indeed. If you think about it, and you think about etymologies, you can figure out that this joke was probably a pun. And when it was like he couldn't see anything, it was probably like literally his eyes were closed. Mm. And so he opened one, and it's opened an eye. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, like, you know, I just flew in and boy are my arms tired types of jokes. Mm. But when translated literally to English, it just sounds like ridiculous anti-joke.
Indeed.
Anyway. So yeah. River. By the way, I hate... I'm hoping this is still working. I've grown to hate our glyph for corn for a number of reasons.
Change it.
I can't. It's just going to sit there forever, harassing me. Is the notebook on screen? See, the thing I've done for river in the past is... You're right. There, huh. I guess I just didn't press it right. The thing that I've done for river in the past is this. And so, like, the Kamakawi glyph for river, for example, is, right? It's something like, I think, or maybe like that. I don't know. Anyway, well, but if there was a dam, so wait, do beavers, the place where beavers live is not the same as the dam, right?
I think they live in the dam.
Do they live in the dam? Or do they dam things up so they can live in the quiet part? Where's Bibleridian? Bibleridian!
I mean...
Oh.
The structure of the dam, I believe, houses them and blocks the water. The lodge is part of the dam.
The lodge is the dam.
But the lodge is where they live, yes. Kopikov. Good one, Jake.
So then, okay, we had this, you know, thing for the dam. And the dam is pa. And pa ended up looking like this. River could be whatever we want. However, we have already used this. We used that for poo, so that's out. That was my idea. But if you wanted to focus on the river... Yeah. There's a little beaver riding on a log down the river.
It'd also be sort of a, like a backward C shape where
Jesse's
you get like the bend in the river.
drawing something like this, being the bend in the river. So like, kind of like playing on that where it's like river initially comes down like this, they're showing it, and then it just kind of shortens until it finally does that. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Bye, Minnie.
It's done. It's done. It's not working anymore.
Oh, the shortcut?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think Minnie has to be here for it to work.
Can't go anywhere. Forget the children. Stay with us.
Where's that Biblaridian anyway? And can somebody do a version of his name that is like a compound of Biblaridian and lizard? Can somebody do that? It's not jumping out to me right now.
Biblarizard?
Okay. Well, then that would be
Lizaridian? Biblizaridian? You liking any of these? Lizlaridian?
Lizlaridian. That's it.
Or just Balthazar?
Okay. Jesse, I need... I need your favorite word for river. It must start with V.
V?
I've made a decision.
And does it need to
That's
have a particular vowel or all three open?
No, it's got to be that syllable, V.
V-I.
Specifically BHI, the bilabial one. And you'll see why soon.
I like vid or vidu.
I like Vidu.
Vidu? I like that too. I just didn't know if you wanted it to be shorter. So vidu. Or vidu, because it's final stress.
That's how Biblaridian hits on somebody. Yeah. Not to riz Laridian you up, but what are you doing tonight? What do you think?
Spot on. Love you, Bib. Almost as good as your Elmu. Elmu! Elmu!
Elmu. Did I tell them about one of Meridian's favorite children's stories was Elmo goes to the potty, and I read it a lot. And so yeah, I had the voices down. Oh no, that's not Michael Caine. Not many people realize that if you go to an orange tree and shake it, sometimes no oranges come off unless they were already going to come off. A lot of people don't realize that. That's Michael Caine.
Are you sure about that?
By the way, do you know this video? This is where it's Michael Caine explaining something that's very obvious, and he says afterwards, a lot of people don't realize that. I think it was when he was in Inception. He was in Inception, right? No, not Inception. Not Inception. The magic movie, The Prestige.
Mm.
I happen to think Michael Caine, though, has a lovely voice. So. Meridian is doing well, but yeah. Oh, I did want to say this. So obviously, like, if you hear the name of this children's book is Elmo Goes to the Potty, it's like, all right, obviously this book was written for a specific reason and for a very specific audience. It's not like it was ever going to be a children's classic, or things like that. But I will say this: the book is one of those books that has flaps that you can lift up. And in my opinion, if you're going to do a gimmick like that, you better like really lean into it. And because like I've seen a lot where it's like, yeah, the first page has like 3 flaps, and then by the last page is like, this one has 1, and it's pretty obvious. That book, every single page has like a dozen flaps. And it's really, there really are differences when you open them up. You get the bang for your buck out of that book. And I really appreciate that. Meridian loved looking at all of them. It was great. Anyway. Oh yeah, so did you enter River? What was it again?
Vidu.
What? With a dental or?
The. No, the.
Oh, it's just the, right? Okay, good. All right, so that is going to look like this. Oh, how I love Copico. Okay.
I did not know it was popular belief that Riz was short for charisma.
Yeah.
Is this a thing that I'm missing because I'm not online?
I don't know. It's just like if you've ever looked it up, that's generally what is given.
Really?
There we go. I think that's what that's supposed to look like, yeah. Little bit of confirmation. Little more action, please.
Little bite of confirmation.
A little bite of confirmation. Okay, so then va is gonna be this, and I swear it's the last time we're gonna do this trick. Ta-da! And now both of those are done.
So what are we down to? And you know what you're doing for tail. I just don't think you've actually done it yet.
No, I did do it.
You did?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, let me pull it up on the screen. Ta-da! Came out. Okay, that is for
Nice.
for V, so that's river. And then this one is
By the way, that must be a kangaroo rat tail. Look at how long that is. And hats off to Bubba for continuing his kangaroo rat language explorations.
Ooh.
And that's very, very exciting. I don't think Bubba can be here today.
Yeah, for
Or
those
if you are, you're not in chat at the moment.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, I will mention that we're approaching the end of the season. And when we do actually hit the end of the season, that is when we will release all of the previous season's
Yes,
LangTime chat
that's
episodes
right.
on YouTube, and also actually putting them on the podcast. I swear I'll do it this time. I know it's like every time I always forget how to do it, but I'll do it this time. So you'll get to see what we were talking about.
Indeed.
Okay.
And by the way, as a little teaser for 2 weeks from now, when we release the December 1st episode, we had some people clamoring for more LangTime challenges because they really enjoyed this last string of episodes where we had quite a few challenges built into them for people to participate in. There will be another one for December. ...
Yeah, this is the time to become a patron if you want to get in on that. Okay, so...
Exactly. Listen, clamour. You can do anything you want. You want to clamor, you want to clamour.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how we just added 2 glyphs and went from 7 to 6, but...
Because you had said 8, because you had forgotten about the beaver, not the beaver tail.
Right.
You said 7 and then went, oh yeah, and this one.
Okay. So we have 6 left.
Although didn't you like technically add 3? Because didn't you add V but also Va? Because you like
Yes,
used
I
the
did.
little dot.
Yeah, I have no idea how this worked. But, oh. I need to put a little star next to that one too. PHA.
Oh my goodness. I like that challenge idea, Patrick. New podcast challenge. Find one of 5 golden tickets David has hidden in languages around the world. That is perfect.
PHA, yeah, we got that. Okay. So we have 6 left. We have me trying to do a version of Clover. Haven't had a lot of success. And then we have ta, ku, fi, zu, and li.
Had you used all the drawings? Do I need to...
Oh, no, not even close.
Okay.
But the thing that always trips me up is not knowing which ones we have words for and which ones we don't.
Well, these, as far as I know, none of them had words. Oh my goodness. I dropped that right out of my book. Although I know some of these we already did. So David, before I hand this back to you for inspiration, I would like to help you out by marking these. We had done the sundog one, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put a check mark next to that. Had we done spider in a web?
No.
Fennel we did. Fennel was the big open one.
Yeah,
we did apple tree, I think. Or apple,
Yes.
anyway. Did we do apple tree?
I have an idea. Was that a mantis that you drew?
It is. It's a praying mantis. We also have a stonefly. I don't know if we did that. We also had a fun little raindrop falling into water. It's just that little guy needs to stay there.
Okay. There are some drawings here for you to take a look at. I do have an idea for mantis because of the way it is. I'm going to keep that right there. So essentially, Jesse's mantis is diagonal, right? And so we have the kind of lines there and a couple of legs here, essentially, yeah. Double those up. Do mantises have 6 legs?
They do. They have like the front, and then the big ones are the back ones that actually go in the opposite direction behind them.
Yeah.
And then they've got other. It's like they basically have 4 on the bottom, and these 2 here plus the antenna.
Yeah. So essentially, something like this, if you're thinking about it becoming a glyph, it's probably going to become vertical, right? And so then we have this kind of thing and this kind of thing. Maybe this back here for a little bit, but this could essentially become, right, maybe something like that. And, whether that's on there at all. And then that could essentially become that.
Oh, nice.
Double H. So I think I'm going to do that. We just need a word for mantis. And that word must start with...
Dun-da-da-da.
Taku fi zu li. Takuvazuli.
Well, I think taku is our word.
You like it?
I do. Taku.
All right.
Taku.
All right.
Or wait, does that change at all? Does that voice? No, it's just taku.
Yeah, taku.
Would stay taku.
Yeah.
I'm a little thrown off by how many words stay their protoforms in this language. Like, I'm not used to that in a LangTime language.
If you wanted to change the... because we can get any vowel sequence, right? If you wanted to change the stress, like, because I think this actually comes out as a long vowel, taku. Because we haven't been doing a lot of long vowels, have we?
So just a.
Yeah.
Taaku.
Yeah, and it's like, why don't we do more long vowels?
Well, apparently we really like the taa as a long vowel. We've got ta, tapa, and now taku.
Wow. Yeah, that's all right. Let's do it. All right. Okay, that's at 0. That's at 1200. Copy, paste. We're going to move this stuff over. And this needs to be at 1000. And now our double cross. Right here. So that's at, interesting, 867. 867 and 533. At least if we want it to match up with that one. It doesn't necessarily have to.
I'm gonna wait to see. On screen, Bib says that mantids are the only terrestrial animals to have only one hearing organ.
And it is their
hearing organ.
No, but where is it? Like, is it on their butt? That's what I expected. And when he says one, I guess that he means that we have like 2 ears, right? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But like most would have one on each side, because that's obviously incredibly beneficial for getting a 360 sort of sound imaging, if you will. If you only have it in one, it's a bit like a cyclops, where like your one eye has to process the information.
So all of us listen in stereo and they listen in mono. Can they not tell the difference then between stereo and mono?
Oh, what is that like? Although I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure I can tell the difference between stereo and mono. And I never really know what to click. But I always feel like stereo must be better, and so I click that whenever I'm given the option. Don't know if I'm supposed to. But there we have it.
I'll when I was, I think this was 2001, when I was taking Introduction to Cognitive Science. All of our homework assignments, they were interesting. They were all papers, and they didn't have minimums. They had maximums. They had 10-page maximums. We did them in groups where, we worked together in groups. Each of us did our own write-ups, and you wrote the name of all your group members on the top. One of the people that was in my group was a Russian exchange student who we were all meeting up in my dorm room, and he looked at my desk and saw that there was headphones on there, and he's like, "Oh, what kind of headphones do you have?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. My parents got them for me," because like he just saw them out of the corner of his eye and picked them up, and he's like, "Oh." Because then he's like, I have one set that I, take with me everywhere that only cost me $350, but my best set I left at home, which is blah, 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 this thing, and it allows for this, this, and this. He's the type of person that would be able to tell the difference between stereo and mono, and would be very specific about explaining, why you needed to listen to one thing in this and the other in that. And it's like, well, I'm not at that level. He was the person that introduced me to, help me out here, one of my favorite bands that I really want to see live.
While you're thinking about that,
England, psychedelic, origin of Motorhead.
Like, say psychedelic, I'm gonna go Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd, none of which are what you're looking for. The listening organ is between those little middle legs on their abdomen.
Oh.
Just FYI.
It's
I'm sorry, Led Zeppelin?
No. Not the Cure. Get out of here.
They're not psychedelic, though.
Goodness gracious.
I was just Motorhead made me think of Led Zeppelin.
Well, yeah, I mean, Motorhead is a very different band. They were like kind of like proto heavy metal that became heavy metal. But the bassist Lemmy, this was like his first major gig, where he wrote the song Motorhead on one of my favorite albums, Warrior at the Edge of Time, which was written by Hawkwind. There we go.
I was not getting there.
So he introduced me to Hawkwind, but he introduced me to Hawkwind via the song Quirk, Strangeness, and Charm, which I listened to and I was like, oh, well, I don't like this. And so I kind of just put them on the back burner for about 16 years until I kind of backed into finding them because of the movie Deadpool. And I know I told you about this, but there's a character in Deadpool, the movie, named Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which is the exact same title as a song by Monster Magnet. And I was like, whoa, is this where Monster Magnet got their name? And that was when I went and looked and was like, no, this is a new character. And they gave the character the name of this song by Monster Magnet. It was like their only hit. And so then I got back into Monster Magnet, started listening to them. And they did a cover of a song by Hawkwind. And I was like, dang, this is cool. And so then I went back and rediscovered Hawkwind and discovered that they did like this, like space-inspired psychedelic music that was really cool. They also did a song like Quirk, Strangeness, and Charm, which doesn't sound like most of their stuff, and which I don't like still. Anyway, so I got back around there. All right. Go listen to go listen to the album Warrior on the Edge of Time. I beg you. And yes, anime fan, yes they did. Okay. What am I doing?
I don't know.
Oh, I've already done the Mantis. So I need to write it in there. That was Ta.
Yes.
How you doing, Jess?
Ready for a nap. Ooh, did someone get a bingo?
LangTime Studio.
Exactly. And our mail dropped earlier. We didn't really stop and make a big deal out of it, but someone could have gotten a bingo today. I know I spoke first on the stream.
All right. So we're getting close. I need to think about trying Clover. No, Negasonic Teenage Warhead was their biggest hit, I would say. Space Lord was a hit. I don't think it's very good.
Before you get into that, we did create a word for clover at some point. And I think it was after I did those drawings. But the word for clover is pizza. And so if P is already taken, then...
Oh, I know. It's written in there. I just can't think of...
Oh, okay. So that was on purpose, and that was... Okay.
I can't think of a good way to do it.
What if you...
Venture around with me. So here's the thing, right?
We have a way to bring back your favorite drawing, David.
Did I... What's the deal with this? Explain yourself. Explain yourself, camera. Explain yourself. Why are you blurry?
Wait, you had to do something to the settings that one time? Did the settings get changed?
I already did it.
It was the display or whatever?
No, it's already done. It's just blurry for no reason. Like,
do we already have a pure X in this language? We do, don't we?
Yeah.
What about an X with a dot under it?
I don't like it.
You know why I'm asking, right? You draw out those little leaves of the clover, and what do you get when you put them into boxes? You get an X.
Yeah. No, okay, now I see what you're saying. And yeah, that can work. All right. I might try that. But another Marvel tie-in, and the reason why I wondered this is because there is a song on that on that album with Negasonic Teenage Warhead by Monster Magnet that is named after a Marvel character. And that Marvel character is Ego, the Living Planet, who appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, played by Kurt Russell. Who, of course, my degree of separation from him is 1, since he played Santa Claus in the Christmas Chronicles.
What about the circle? Because, like, effectively, if it's a 3-leaf clover, you end up getting something more like Y-shaped, or even like V with a chunky bottom.
Yeah, it might look better. Let's give that a shot, because I don't like the way that looked. 40.2, 39.2. Let's see if we can get it to 40, huh? Because I think that's what we want. Yeah, let's do that. All right, now we need the line. I think of Space Lord like a gadget song where it's like it's got some sort of a quirky little thing in it that's not like a real song. It reminds me of a song by Faith No More called I think it's Aggressive, I think. Where
the song is called that?
I think so, where the chorus is just cheerleaders doing the Be Aggressive chant. Yeah.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
And it's like, okay, but it's like that, I don't know. It's not like exactly, it's not like it's a parody song or a joke song, but it's like, that's not what the rest of your entire band sounds like. You just gave up the chorus for like a quirky little thing. That's what I think of Space Lord as. I was like, whatever. Let's see. I think I like the Y better for a variety of reasons. So we're going to go with that.
It's because it makes you think of me because I came up with it.
There are very few things that cause me to not think of you. Wait, I don't think that was worded right. Everything makes me think of you. I don't know if the Y should have a long sticky thingy or a short sticky thingy.
Can I see on screen?
Yes. So we got pi and p. It's funny, the place where I was pasted it to do some test work on it was actually on the character pi. All right. And then...
But now I can't get that chant out of my head. Thanks, David.
Well, maybe you'll like that song. Oh, it's kind of funny that it's right next to an X.
XY. Oh. By the way, I'm really happy that we moved across from each other. I happened to see some of our other videos where we were side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, we looked a little goofy because we kept leaning off camera and then our heads would just like disappear into nowhere space because the cameras like cut out the middle. And so we would just like lean over a lot. And like this way, it's like we're usually at least looking towards each other or leaning in. And so it's more towards the camera action instead of a lot of this. And so I'm happy. Oh, I got to vote though. So please excuse me while I vote. Oh, this was a tough vote. I'm very curious to see.
That could be interpreted in two different ways. McCain and L of Twitch fame. Be sure to watch McCain and L streams on Twitch. And let's not forget Let's Have a Booba, which streams every Wednesday at 1:30. We watched Let's Have a Booba yesterday. Jonathan was on working on the script for the current language.
Everyone's favorite part of language.
Yep. Yeah, I'm agreeing with the sentiment there. There is some sort of a visual anomaly with the shortened line. It looks strange. So let it be so.
I mean, Mateus and I voted the same way, which apparently is a strange anomaly.
Let's see. Yeah. In fact, nowhere in the entire script, if there's a single line descending, nowhere does it hit the writing line, except for this one. What is the image for this? This is T. What is T? Chisel. I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to make this go down to the descender too. I think that it makes sense.
This was chisel.
Yeah. I like that. I actually like that a lot better. Though now that I'm wondering, should that have a double line across it? We're running out of real estate here in terms of season and poll. Like, we're gonna have to get to numbers and punctuation eventually. Maybe we can do that, but this could be a really cheapy one. Let's see if people like this. I might make that the poll. I'll think about it.
All right. Oh, Jake. Oh, Jake. You're not wrong.
What's the one I just did? What did I just do? It was
Clover.
the Y. Clover.
Yes.
Clover is done, so I can put a star on that.
Yay!
All right. We are down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. 4 final characters. And then essentially the checklist is the 4 final characters, the dental diacritic, and also the voiceless nasal diacritic.
Mm-hmm.
And then numbers and potentially punctuation. Needs something for punctuation. Doesn't have to be big. And in fact, punctuation is one of those things that often gets borrowed. Where, like, if you're looking at like script borrowing, I think that like the most common thing that gets borrowed is probably punctuation. Second is number systems, and third, after you go down to that, it'll be like glyphs for foreign sounds, and then if you go down after that, glyphs for sounds that are actually in your language, and then the final thing is just borrowing the whole script. So we can consider their animal relationships, and consider borrowing that punctuation. But the 4 glyphs that we have yet to do, Kufi Zuli. All right. What are you doodling over there?
I'm just, doing some fun. But do you need the drawing page back?
What was our word for head? Did we do that yet?
We came up with a word for it, I thought.
Clay, and we already used it. Never mind. That was done already. Can I see your images?
You can see these.
Fern, moss.
Which some of those, admittedly, are going to be really difficult to do. Especially as simplified forms. That, you start taking away the detail and they start literally just looking like everything else.
Yeah, like acorn is this, and we've already done...
And acorn was similar to apple.
Huh. We haven't, at least as far as I see, we haven't done a full cross in the middle of our little square shape, which I think could serve for pine cone.
And yet you've already created one, because I thought that was one of the options, so you could use it. It's like it should be on one of the unused glyphs, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you had created it as an option, and then it was voted out for acorn.
Yes, it was. And I, now that I'm looking at it, I agree 100%. Actually, no, that wasn't, no, it was for dam.
Okay.
But I think it makes sense for pine cone. So I think that we might do that for pine cone. And did we do that lotus lily root?
No. And I don't think we made... Because you had just asked about it, I remember. We do have a word for pine cone, tuka.
Dang it. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we already did it.
Oh, well, maybe that's what we were voting on, so...
Then what is it? Oh.
You can put a little check. I was trying to put checks next to images that you'd already used, David. If you want to, take one of your pins and put a little check next to it so we don't keep going over ones we've already done.
Sure.
But I don't think... Let me look up lily root, which I think
hammer.
Could be difficult. I don't see it in the dictionary.
Did we do hammer?
Hammer is pak, P-A.
Okay, that won't work. We already have pa.
Mm-hmm.
Maple seed's kind of interesting, I guess. I just don't see how it becomes a glyph very easily.
Ooh, you get the smaller of the boxes that you've created, and then you get a line this way instead of, we had done the upright. This would be reversed because it's the bigger is, down at the bottom.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know if it would look too different from Clue ultimately.
Could also be a box. You get the line and then a little.
Yeah, that's the problem. It ended up looking exactly like Clue. We're very, very similar. So we have these funky beans. We didn't do butterfly, right?
No.
This butterfly.
The giant butterfly.
Slices of bread.
Yeah, I feel like you're making fun of my butterfly.
It's not my favorite of the drawings you've done in your life.
You giving me your pen?
Yeah, I guess I was. Let me think about this.
Have you done Dragonfly? That one is a better drawing.
I don't think that we have.
Nope.
Focus. All right. It's like assuming, you start with something like this for a butterfly. Something very simple. right? And then we're looking at like essentially double wide character, maybe a little boop. But do we have anything with a B shape? I don't think we do. And I don't know if we have enough of a, that ends up looking like that. Could do that. We could rescue it yet.
Not all butterflies have that bisected wing. If you just did.
But I like the bisected wing because we haven't used this yet.
Oh, we haven't used I thought we did.
Yeah, and in fact, we haven't used.
Yeah, David's making fun of me, not butterflies in general.
We haven't used this character or this character. And so, if butterfly were a word for had ku and had ku or zoo, that actually might be useful. Okay. Can we make the word for butterfly start with ku or zoo?
Yes.
All right.
Since we have no word yet. All right, so kur, little voiceless L action.
Could we have it actually be, so this is kind of onomatopoeic, but kuhlu.
Kuhlu?
Kuhlu. So K-U-U, yeah, K-U-U, hla-U-U, and it'll come out in the modern as kulu. Kulu?
Yes.
Kulu?
We do not yet have that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but
Somehow I want to hear a lot more about that taste. Okay.
kulu in the modern form would still be stressed on the first syllable, right? Because it was that long U.
I don't think so.
The long U doesn't get the stress?
Not if it's followed by another long U.
Oh, you wanted 2 long U's.
Sure did.
I 100% missed that.
All right. I'm a little confused at what lecture G has shown me. Oh! Because we have shortening outside of stressed syllables. So if the stress is on the right side, then we have kulu in the modern.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is the partitive?
It's just not going to add anything. Nothing gets added for a U word.
You're right. Something neat could have happened, but then it didn't. Huh? Don't forget to butter your vowels. Okay, so this is going to be ku. Right there. And I think we're going to put the notch. Come, little notchy. Not that. Not that.
Okay. Oh, kulua means to be heard in Finnish.
Goes up to 1500, right? Little notchy goes to 1500. Little notchy does go to 1500. Yay. Okay. That's right. Butterfly in there.
Ah, Zuku. Oh my god, so many forms. All these zoo forms.
All right. I want to see.
Oh, Mateus did. I can't wait to go to Discord if you post it, Mateus. The butterfly drawing.
Hmm.
All right. Zoo?
I need a baking consult real quick. Baking sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
Jake is saying you have no idea how disgusting the idea of making icing with shortening is if you aren't used to it. When I first got into baking, I found it so weird home bakers wouldn't just use butter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are two types of frosting, right? There's buttercream frosting, but then there's also whipped cream frosting, and I felt like we both prefer whipped cream, yeah?
Whipped cream, but that uses heavy whipping cream as its base, and
Sure.
there's no butter.
No, of course
The
not.
buttercream, a lot of home bakers especially, and even some bakers professionally, if they need to cut costs, use shortening instead of butter. And yeah.
Huh. I just don't like buttercream. Could
I
it be the case that the buttercream I don't like is one that uses shortening?
It could be, but there's also another reason you don't like buttercream as much, and that's you end up even with using butter, you're eating a stick of butter mixed with sugar. Like that's effectively the entire ingredient list right there. You can add other things to it, but you're effectively eating a stick of butter with sugar, a lot of sugar in it, and it honestly just doesn't taste very good. Like, I'd rather just lick the sugar. And so, anyway, but you and I also prefer less icing, and with the whipped cream frostings, you tend to get a lesser amount of the frosting, and you also get that whipped cream flavor, which we both very much enjoy.
Yeah.
And so, there's really just, I find nothing, because we got buttercream frosting in that sampling kit. From two very good bakeries that I promise you use butter and not shortening.
Yeah.
And we were both unimpressed.
Yeah.
We liked the cream cheese frosting. We liked the whipped cream frosting. We had to get buttercream so that way some people could eat for milk reasons. But we did not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I think that we're also both of the same opinion about fondant, yeah?
Oh, God, it's awful. And, like, I get why people need it for decorating reasons, but, like, I don't want to eat that. And I don't understand people who actually enjoy it. Like, there are legitimately people who enjoy it, and I don't understand you, but hats off to you that you find joy in that. But I also don't like marzipan. I don't like... David really doesn't like that because that's almonds.
Almonds, yeah. Can I borrow your bookie again?
But, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's that spider web. I don't know how that's going to work. Wait a minute. I do know how that's going to work. Okay. Spider web. I need the spider web to have to start with Fee, Zoo, or Lee.
As a side note, Jake, it's evidence that, small doses of spiders are fine. I drew that one. And as Mateus points out, it's phase, F-A-Z-E, which looks like a fake word, and not P-H-A-S-E for it doesn't phase me. Okay, so Phi, Lee, or Zoo?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling Phi or Lee because it feels finer than Zoo would suggest. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We're back.
I would like Fee. I think that would be very interesting, given the other two.
What about like Feast?
Yeah. And I might need either Biblioreadian's help or somebody who knows a lot about the history of clothing. I want to talk about spider silk. Would it make sense if like Feast was silk or cloth or I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I
I'm
like
sure
that.
silk has been used to describe spider webs.
No, no,
It's a
no.
caterpillar. So Sissa languages, I do not like any sort of almond flavoring, but I love
Ugh,
almonds.
hate it.
Straight almonds, love them. Love them in all their ways. But as soon as you do like almond extract, it's like, no, I'm out.
Thanks, Jake. I suspected it was something like that, but I didn't have it exactly right.
Moth.
But
I mean, isn't a caterpillar basically a moth, Jake?
okay, now.
And David, does the final S stay piece?
Let me check. Yes, peace. That's it.
And this starts with an F or a F?
It starts with a phi. In the modern, it's just
Phi. Yeah, it's important to get the protoform right.
Yeah, we are so close. We're down to 2 glyphs. Zoo and Lee. That's it. That's it. Can I look at your book again real quick? I know it's 402. I know it's 402. I just want to see if there's any lagging fruit. Oh, that's right. The saw. I forgot about the saw.
My very lengthy two-handed saw. That would be one heck of a glyph shape in terms of how much room it would take up. And we have cobweb is another way to say that.
I want to try this real quick. Okay, and then that'll be it, I swear. I'm just gonna try it. Nobody say anything.
Biblaridian says spider silk can apparently be used in clothing. It's relatively modern though, because it's delicate and expensive to collect enough fiber to weave into cloth. Jake has seen it as hypoallergenic material.
I think I'm gonna do it. All right, this is the last thing we're doing, I swear. Okay. For saw, I think saw should be. I think saw should be zoo.
Zuzu.
With
Zuzu.
with long ooze both time, and so it's going to show up as zuzu.
The protoform would just be zoo and it gets reduplicated, or the protoform is actually zoo.
The whole thing is onomatopoeic, so kind of doesn't matter. All right. So I'm either going to ask you about this glyph for the poll, and that'll be a simple one, or I'm going to play around with numbers and do a poll based on that. And again, not the actual numbers. We finished those, the forms of numbers. So, hurrah! Thank you for staying a little bit extra. Thank you for sticking with us. Is Roman about anywhere? Or they
I think they're both upstairs.
They have found a spot that they really enjoyed. Roman had been sitting here the other day, so I was trying to see if he was...
He today has abandoned that spot, and I think it's because of the smell of what was left there.
Oh, no, I meant...
Oh, here. I thought you meant down there, because he had been laying down there.
You want me
and
to...
today he's avoiding the rug at all costs.
Do you want me to go back and try to do more cleaning there?
Well, in the thing here, let's...
All right.
But thank you all for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next week at 1 p.m. Pacific, a special 1 hour earlier time from Santa Barbara.
Woo-hoo!
Until then, stay grammar.
Bye.